Hi, it's Julie Marquis, and I want to answer one of the questions that I keep getting, which is what makes an accountability chart different from an organizational chart? And the organizational chart is a chart that shows you who reports to whom in the organization. But accountability chart shows you who's accountable for what. And there's a big difference there. Because if you have more than one person that's accountable for something in the organization, that means nobody's accountable, right? There's a lot of finger pointing going back and forth. But one of the bigger issues is if you don't have anyone expressly identified to be accountable, that means nobody's going to be accountable to that either. And typically what happens is that accountability and that responsibility floats up to the integrator, to the visionary, to the CEO, the president, and all of a sudden they're overwhelmed trying to take care of some things in the business that, quite frankly, if they were clear on accountabilities, they would not have to be addressing. I had a client just recently, is just frustrated because she's in the middle of the day-to-day after spending all this time and years in being in business to elevate herself so that she could play the role of the visionary. So I need a new bookkeeper. I need a new IT person. What do I do? And I said, well, who's responsible for that? She didn't have an answer. And I said, well, nobody's going to step in and take that. And so instead of her just continuing to be frustrated, I started explaining to her what the accountability chart really does for her and for her organization. So she's committed to go back. She's going to redo that accountability chart. And yet, it doesn't have to be forever. You don't have to create the perfect accountability chart for the rest of the history of your organization. Next 6 to 12 months is all you need. 6 to 12 months, what is the right structure for your organization to take you to where you need to be? And when you start to break it down like that, it feels like it's much more manageable. And then once everyone's clear on what their accountabilities are, make sure they've got a metric. Something that they need to keep on track on a weekly basis to make sure that you're moving towards the achievement of your vision. And that's what makes those EOS foundational tools so powerful, is that we take a structure first, people second approach to building out the accountability chart, and then we take a traction first, vision second approach to actually putting all the foundational tools in place. And when you do that, what ends up happening is you start to get momentum much faster. People are realizing what they're accountable for, and they're buying in, and they're recognizing that they have things that they need to get done on a weekly basis. So if you feel like you're not making progress forward, go back, take a look, make sure that accountability chart is clear, that you know who's accountable for what are those 5 roles for each of those positions within your organization. And then make sure that everybody has a metric that they are responsible for keeping on track. If you do those 2 things, you're really going to start to get some real traction in achieving your vision. If you need help, reach out. Julie Marquis.